So the US then describes it as a sanctioned dark fleet vessel. It is part of Venezuela's illegal sanctions evasion. A tanker currently being pursued through the Caribbean Sea by the US. It could soon become the third seizure of a tanker as the Trump administration intensifies its targeting of such vessels connected to the Venezuelan government. The first seized little over a week ago, the second on Saturday. We're going to cross then to Washington, talk to correspondent David Smith, who joins us from there. David, where are we then with this pursuit? What's the US saying about it?
Well, there's been no further update beyond officials saying that they are in pursuit of this sanctioned oil tanker in international waters off Venezuela, as you mentioned, describing it as a sanctioned dark fleet vessel. They argue this is Venezuela breaking sanctions on transport of oil to fund its drugs enterprises. The officials said that this ship is flying a false flag, and it's under a judicial seizure order from the US, like others. It's been described by other sources as a ship called Bella One, an oil tanker that's been under US sanctions since 2024 because of alleged ties to Iran and Hezbollah. And we're really waiting further information on what is going to happen. Will it go the same way as those two previous oil tankers that have been seized by the US? Really, as part of this mounting pressure campaign, there's obviously also a huge military buildup in the Caribbean. We have seen the US military carry out strikes on alleged narco-terrorist boats, as they describe them, with more than 100 people killed, and that's been hugely controversial. Criticism that it's extrajudicial killings. Venezuela argues this is all about its oil supply. The US says it's all about cutting off funding for drugs, and it seems there is no let-up in this pressure campaign.
Yeah, mounting pressure, as you say, David, but still quite a lot of opposition to these moves from within the Republican Party even. Senator Rand Paul calling those seizures a provocation, a prelude to war even.
That's right. I think some Republicans and certainly staunch supporters of Trump are still being fairly positive about what he's doing here and really this expansion of US power in the Western Hemisphere. But as you say, Senator Rand Paul, who is traditionally can be a bit of an outlier and certainly a hardline critic of what he sees as US warmongering, he regards this as an unnecessary provocation. In an interview on Sunday, Paul was suggesting a major contradiction here in US policy on drugs because Trump recently pardoned a former president of Honduras who'd been jailed on drugs charges. And I think Rand Paul and others have grave concerns that once again the US could get sucked into a foreign quagmire here. There are other voices in Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement who also have fears. Just to, as a reminder, an important part of that movement was a reaction against the Iraq war, the sense that the US had engaged in too much foreign adventurism, had got bogged down in these foreign wars. Trump was now going to pursue a policy of America first and disengage from these conflicts. And there are people in that movement now wondering, what is Trump playing at here? Is there a danger of getting sucked in again? And indeed drawing parallels with the Iraq war, which critics said was motivated by a desire for oil in Iraq. This time, Trump is being more open about the motivations of Venezuelan oil. And those kind of parallels certainly cause concern, as you can imagine, not only for Republicans, but many across the political spectrum.
David, thanks very much. David Smith, correspondent, joining us there from Washington.